Inside everybody, there is a secret code.
DNA, the very essence of who we are.
Linda Mann, 15 years old, raped and strangled with her own scarf. And the killer, he's a local, I'm certain of it. And he's going to know that we're not going to go away until we've got it.
Just get the bastard.
You're as close now to catching Linda Mann's killer as you were the morning her body was found. Not a single suspect.
The DNA fragments have combined to make a pattern that is unique. As unique as a fingerprint.
Eureka! What have we got?
Dawn Ashworth, 15. Didn't come on with 7 what she said she would.
Absolutely nothing! I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Dawn Ashworth.
We know you killed her. You killed them both.
No, if I killed Linda, I'd have bloody well said. But I didn't. And there's no way you can prove that I did.
Dr. Jeffries, I want you to prove he also murdered Linda Mann. Are you 100% sure?
No, there's no doubt. Gavin Hopkirk did not kill Linda Mann, nor did he kill Dawn Ashworth. But what we do know is that it was indeed the same man that raped and murdered both girls. So we're back to square one.
When I speak to the press tomorrow, you're going to be sitting right next to me, all right?
Are you sure you don't need me to be there?
I'm sure.
They're going to question the science, you know that.
Listen, you proved we got the wrong man. It's my job now to make sure we catch the right one.
David, it's time.
Yeah, listen, I've got to go.
Yes, right. Bye-bye, David.
Yeah?
No.
Stick to the press release. Keep it simple. Let me answer the questions.
Leicestershire Police have held a press conference at their headquarters in Enderby.
All right. Lead the way.
Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, DCS Baker will make a short statement. Thank you.
Afternoon tests were carried out by Dr. Alec Jeffries of Leicester University. The charges against Gavin Hopkirk have been dropped.
How can you be letting someone go after they've already confessed?
We've used a relatively new process called genetic fingerprinting.
The tests that were carried out do not implicate Mr. Hopkirk in the murder of Linda Mann. The results of the test indicate that a person as yet unknown is involved in the deaths of the two girls.
So what are these new tests?
The details are in the press release.
From what I understand, genetic fingerprinting has not been tested in criminal court.
But it has been proved in immigration and paternity cases.
So you've wasted all this time on Hopkirk when you should have been out there searching for the real killer. What does this mean for the community of Narborough and Enderby?
I think we should leave it there, all right? Thank you very much.
Why'd you confess, Gavin? Huh? I'll be seeing you. Yeah.
Are you going to be all right?
See you later.
Bye.
Morning.
Morning.
How many people were you expecting for today's lecture?
Usual 20, 25. Oh, don't tell me no one's turned up.
First question. What do we know about seals?
We'd rather hear you talk about the release of Gavin Hopkirk.
Well, to catch fish, seals have to dive underwater for long periods of time.
What has this got to do with Gavin Hopkirk?
Everything. And if you can't see that, then we're all in trouble. Now, would you please kindly leave my lecture? Right now! So, to do this, they have to store oxygen in their muscles in the form of myoglobin.
We've been made to look like right bloody Charlies.
The DNA proves it wasn't Hopkirk, OK?
Gavin Hopkirk confessed.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't him.
It was on the tapes. Lads. That's enough. You agree with me, though, don't you?
Jeff, it doesn't matter what I think. Or what you think. If the boss is happy, then so are we.
Thought I had him. I know you all thought the same thing. We were wrong. Right, I want no hankering after what might have been. We start again. No, actually, we think of this as a whole new investigation, which means we go through everything that we've got. Piece by piece. Every statement, every phone call, every house-to-house interview. We can do this. We have to. Because the one thing we know for certain is that this man will do it again. And again and again until we find him.
And cut there. OK, come to me. How was that? That's sweet.
She's walking all wrong. Dawn would never walk like that. She's too flat-footed.
Thanks for doing this, Mrs. Ashworth.
She was my best friend. I keep thinking she's going to come home from school. And we'll have our usual little chat, then she'll go up and do her own work. And what makes it worse? He's living in one of the villages, and I look around and I think, well, it could be him. Or it could be him, or...
We'll find him, I promise you.
Right, we're on.
The first of this month's reconstructions is of a crime that you may have read about.
Indeed, you may have thought that it was solved. It's been in the news quite a bit.
It's about two girls from the same school in Leicestershire who were both 15, both sexually assaulted and both murdered.
Suspicion fell upon a 17-year-old
It's on now.
youth who lived locally. Right. He was arrested and in a
Recorded interview, he made a statement and was charged with Dawn's murder. But with
nothing to link that suspect with the earlier crime, police used for the first time in criminal history a complex forensic test known as DNA or genetic fingerprinting. If there is anything you can do to help,
shall I turn it off?
No, right now.
This is history.
The number in London is
It's all because of you, son.
8055. Or you can ring the incident room at Enderby. That's on
0533 482 400. That's 0533, the code for Leicester. 482 400.
It leaves a tremendous gap. It's not only a daughter that we've lost, but certainly I lost a very good friend.
Instant room, DC Cowley.
And that's what I brought you.
Hello?
To see.
Yes. Yes. What's your name? Sharon Smith. Okay, Sharon, what did you say? Instant room, Dennis Taylor? So you saw you? Yeah, just watched. Just when and when was this? 4 years ago.
What you got?
The usual crazies. A couple of mediums. One of them is convinced the killer is a police officer, which is why he's getting away with it. We'll investigate every lead we're sent, but there's nothing here that we haven't been through before. Needle in a bloody haystack. Where are you going?
This is not all I do.
I've had an idea. Come on, I'll show you. Listen. The man we're looking for is a serial killer. Our research shows us that serial killers tend to kill within a 5-mile radius of where they live. Their so-called hunting ground. Well, the girls' bodies were found here and here. If I draw a circle roughly within a 5-mile radius of that centre point, our man is in there. So how do we flush him out? We've got the genetic fingerprint of the killer. It's the only real piece of evidence we've got. In 1948, a young girl was murdered in Blackburn. The only clue was a fingerprint on a bottle of medicine by her bedside, and the DCI at the time decided to fingerprint every man who was over the age of 16 on that night in Blackburn. And after checking over 40,000 fingerprints, 40,000, they finally got their man.
You think we could do the same here?
Why not? We've now got the genetic fingerprint. Principles are still the same.
You'd have to test the blood of every male between the ages of 15 and 34.
Is it possible? That's what I want to know.
It would be time-consuming, labour-intensive. It'd certainly be expensive because we couldn't possibly do it here. We'd have to set up a whole new facility. But, yes, it is possible.
How on earth do you propose getting 5,000 men to give blood? Press gangs?
We asked them to volunteer.
And then what? Nice cup of tea and a biscuit? Come on, David. What about civil liberties? The press are going to have an absolute field day. I can see the headlines now. Vampire police take young men's blood.
We're not going to ask them to do anything that we don't want them to do, you know.
Why would anyone volunteer to have their blood taken?
Because they know the killer of these two women is living amongst them.
I can't believe you're part of this.
I realise the scale of what I'm asking, but a radical new proven science, together with the scientists who first invented it.
What if the killer just avoids giving his blood? He'll have seen the headlines. He'll know that as soon as he does so...
That's exactly what we're anticipating will happen, sir.
Every man who lives in each of the 3 villages will get a letter asking him to come to one of our centres where their blood will be taken. If any man fails to turn up, we shall want to know why.
Won't he just leave the area?
If someone moves, we track him down. Go after him to take part.
And what if he gets someone else to take the test for him? That's what I'd do.
Then we will have forced his hand. He knows the net is closing in. He's got a choice. Try and avoid the test, which will only arouse suspicion. Do it and get caught, or get someone else to do it for him. And if that happens, well, his secret's been compromised, hasn't it?
Let's just say I agree to what you're proposing. There's no way the Home Office will sanction anything like this.
We're just going to have to try and persuade them. What's the name of this woman we're seeing?
Joy Blakefield.
Is she a minister?
No, she's a civil servant.
I thought we were seeing...
We get Joy Blakefield on site, we're home and dry.
We can't do the test at the university. We just don't have the resources. So the Forensic Science Service...
is quoting over £100 for each blood test.
Yes, that includes the cost of the doctors who have to take the blood, the premises.
Not all the blood samples will have to go through to the full genetic test if they're not the right blood type.
Is this the best use of our limited resources? 5,000 blood samples times £100, that's a budget of £500,000 for what is essentially an experiment.
With all due respect, I don't think you quite understand the ramifications.
With all due respect, Detective Chief Superintendent, I think I do.
No, David, she's right. This is an experiment. Nobody knows what the outcome's going to be because nothing like this has ever been tried before. And believe me, I share your caution. But we're all taking very real risks here. Reputations, careers, money. But what are we doing here? What's the risk of not carrying out this experiment? Another teenage girl being raped and murdered. More than that, I think this new test might be able to find the man who committed these murders and prevent him from committing any more.
I believe ICI now own the patent for your invention.
That's correct.
My understanding is that the Home Office feel they should have Crown privilege over Dr. Jeffrey's invention.
It would certainly make things a lot easier.
Well, ICI have already invested a great deal of money into developing these new techniques.
I understand that, and good for them. This government's all for rewarding free enterprise, but the fact remains...
This is all about money.
I would love to support this idea. But I also live in the real world. Where does the £500,000 come from? Nurses, teachers, bobbies on the beat?
Yet you found it for the miners' strike. Sorry.
Well, let's just see what happens.
Here we are, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, Alec.
David.
Have a sit down. So Dennis Thatcher was at ICI last week. Yep. And they told him about the Home Office's reluctance to pay for the privilege of using your invention. So Mr. Thatcher has a word with his missus, who let it be known that if the Home Office doesn't cough up, she would want to know why.
You're working for Thatcher now.
Well, whoever it is, we got what we wanted. Blood testing's on. How's the Forensic Science Service doing?
Well, I spoke to Peter Gill, and we're ready to go, I think.
All we need to do now is persuade the locals.
Now, this is our best chance to convince the community. Carry on.
So don't fuck it up.
Firstly, can I say that we are only interested in men between the ages of 18 and 34. Dr. Jeffries here can talk to you about blood samples and the process, but from the police point of view, we're not interested in speeding, fines, a TV licence, evasion, or whatever the media likes to speculate about. What we want to do is to catch the killer.
What we need is more police on the beat and more street lighting. Our children are coming home in the dark from school.
I understand your concerns, and we are liaising with the local council, but tonight's meeting is...
What I don't like is you're treating us all as guilty. Yeah, till the professor there manages to prove it otherwise.
Sir, our aim is simply to exclude people from the investigation.
And once we get the results, we'll send letters to every man telling him that his name has been cleared.
What are you going to do after with all these blood samples?
Once we find the killer, we will destroy all the samples.
Well, who's to say that in a few years' time DNA fingerprinting won't be rubbish?
Because, well, Dr. Jeffrey... Alex, will you...
Yes. We are all different from each other. Unique. And this uniqueness can be seen in the form of our genetic makeup. Now, we get this from our mothers and fathers who
get their genetic makeup from their parents, and so on.
Why? What if someone don't want to do it?
Excuse me, can I say something, please? I lost our daughter to this fiend. We all want to catch him, and if that means every man of the right age having to give a tiny bit of blood in order to do so, then, for God's sake, let's get on with it.
A sample of blood. That's all it takes. It's then carefully sealed into one of these, then carefully labelled and sent to the laboratory where it undergoes a series of processes that, in the end, produces a barcode. Just like you see in the supermarket. This is what my genetic fingerprint looks like.
What if there's a mistake?
Let me be absolutely clear about this. There is no mistake. All of us have one of these. And all of them are different, unique. This is me, this is my unique code. And this is the code of the killer.
Sky Broadband Unlimited.
It's about 3 tables over. Okay. What about the registration? What's the registration?
You don't need to be here, you know.
Yes, I do.
You all right?
I'm fine. I think it's probably flu or something.
Right, Jeff.
All right, everybody, gather round. The boss has got something to say.
Right. Make sure you take their full names, their addresses, both work and home, telephone numbers. We also need to check on photo ID. If they haven't got photo ID, you take the photo, you write the name across the back, and you arrange a time and a day to visit to confirm who they are. Also, make sure all samples are labelled with their name and the number that they've been assigned. Right? Alec?
Once they've been labelled, they'll be sent to the Forensic Science Service at Aldermaston. Now, we can't afford to make any mistakes. If you feel you may have contaminated a sample in any way, do it again. We get this wrong, this man will slip through the net and we will not get another chance.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Right, let's go.
Well, I must say, it looks very impressive.
Yes, well, now we just need someone to turn up.
Sir?
Yes?
I think you better come and have a look at this.
Do you want to come with me, man?
She volunteers.
The world's first DNA manhunt is underway. Thousands of men from the villages of Narborough, Littlethorpe and Enderby have this week been attending voluntary blood tests in an attempt to catch the killer of 2 Leicestershire schoolgirls.
Excuse me?
All men aged between the ages of 18 and 34 have received a letter asking them to attend the screening.
Quicker, you've got people stacked up here.
Yes, sir. Come along. Over there in the middle. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right. Be very, very careful.
And that's the first batch of samples.
Away they go.
Right. Thank you. All right, sir.
Gentlemen,
Hi.
let me introduce you. This is Peter Gill, our principal research scientist.
How do you do?
This is Detective Chief Superintendent David Baker, Detective Inspector Alan Madden.
Hello. Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Thank you very much. How's it all going?
I have to admit we weren't expecting this amount of samples so early on. Let me show you what we're doing. This is where the blood arrives and is initially analysed for its blood group and PGM. From there, we extract the DNA from the remaining blood samples and add the restriction enzymes.
If we do get the full 5,000 blood samples that we're predicting, then the final number that will go through to the full genetic screening, to the final...
You all right, sir?
Would be, Peter?
Around 1,000.
Yes.
Maybe less.
And when can we expect to get any results?
We're not sure. If we do have to analyse 1,000 different samples, it's going to take at least 5 months before we can process them all.
5 months?
That's to do them all.
We can clear men as soon as we have the blood type and the PGM.
There's still a long time to wait.
It's pioneering work.
I know.
I did say it would take some time. Surely the most important thing is that we get it right.
Oh, we've already got 100, well, nearly 1,000 samples. The response has been huge. We can't keep... Whoa!
Alec! Alec, can we get some help here?
It strikes me as somewhat ironic that when you went to the doctors last week, you refused to have your blood taken.
I thought I had flu. You don't need to have your blood taken.
You do if it contains the Epstein-Barr virus.
Glandular fever is not what I need right now.
No. Right now, you need to rest.
Blood samples.
All taken care of.
I can't stay here. I've got too much to do.
Alec, please. At this rate, you're going to kill yourself. Or more likely, I'm going to do it for you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Sue, please, I can't stay here.
No, you can't. Unfortunately, they're sending you home.
Good.
You once told me the thing you loved most about your job, after you discovered something or invented something, was passing it on and letting it go out into the big wide world. Let it go.
You were living in Narborough in 1984. No, it doesn't matter how long you were living there, but you'll need to visit your local police station in Newcastle. We'll tell them to expect you.
We have 3 testing centres up and running, which covered a full 5-mile radius.
Anyone refuse to give their blood?
Well, a couple. One chap had a thing about needles, recognised phobia, so we asked him to give his sample another way, which he seemed happier about.
Semen sample, sir.
Oh, yeah. And quite a few didn't attend their allotted time, so we're sending out a second batch of letters to encourage them to volunteer.
When if that doesn't work?
We start knocking on doors and asking awkward questions.
This has just gone through, sir.
What is it?
Woman in Enderby, sir, says a neighbour got a second letter the other day. He's now packing his bags.
Has he had his blood taken?
No, we've sent him a reminder, spoken to him, but, you know.
All right. And now he's moving out?
Yeah.
Let's have a chat with him.
What's going on?
Mr. Denmore.
Yeah?
Going somewhere nice?
We were wondering why you hadn't responded to either of our letters.
Oh, we're voluntary. Absolutely, 100%.
My wife is away. Abroad. At her mother's.
I don't see how that's
You
relevant.
got a call, didn't you? From Mrs. Harris. She lives next door to me.
And?
I've been, busy. Mrs. Harris Doesn't want me to leave her. She doesn't want me to get back together with my wife. She and I,
If you could provide us with the blood sample, sir, you can be on your way. Do you want to do that blood test now?
I am not collaborating with the police.
It's how it looks, Alec.
I thought you supported me on this.
This isn't about me. It's all the shit I'm getting at the university. All our worthy colleagues huffing and puffing about you sharing a platform with Detective David Baker. Getting help from Maggie bloody Thatcher. This place is a tip.
For God's sake, Sue, why are you saying all this?
What if they don't catch the killer? What are they going to say about your test? All your work goes down the drain.
Well, that's the risk I'm taking. It's the risk I have to take, and you
What
knew
about
that.
the risk we're taking? People know who you are, Alec. What you've done, it's in all the papers. That includes the man who raped and murdered those 2 girls. People know where we live. They're standing on our doorstep wanting you to take their blood.
Oh, come on, he's not going to come here, is he?
You're the man who can prove he killed those 2 girls. And now he's being backed into a corner.
Hey, come on.
So you've taken over 2,000 blood samples and still haven't found it?
No, but we've eliminated almost 1,900 men from the inquiry.
I'm sorry, I can't see how that helps to find the killer of these
well,
2
the net
girls.
is closing in. There, you've got your letter. Photo ID. Yeah, great, thank you. Yeah, if you'd like to come with me.
Age?
27.
Date of birth?
The 23rd of March, 1960.
Blood transfusion in the last 6 months. Bingo.
When do I get the results?
12 for bloody never, I've heard. Backlog at the lab. Can't cope. Meet me at the desk. Lots more.
Thank you very much.
Have a cup of tea if you want.
No, it's all right, thank you.
Anything?
No.
We're not going to get him. Not like this.
You're the lucky one. I've got to drive down all the way to Portsmouth after work to pick up 1 blood sample.
Hello, Alec.
Hi, David.
Sue told me you were back.
I'm looking to find a way of speeding up the testing process.
She sounded a bit worried on the phone. Thought you had to take a rest. Take it easy.
Thousands of blood samples have been taken already. We still haven't got him.
Yes, they said it would take months, but... Do you ever think you got it wrong?
All the time. For example, when I first looked at Gavin Hopkirk's barcode, I thought I must have missed something completely stupid. I even thought maybe blood and semen have different DNA. It was just madness.
Yes, but it wasn't. You were right.
The thing is, if this fails, people's perception of forensic DNA will be shattered.
Oh, hello, Sue. Hello, David. You come to congratulate him. Hasn't he told you? Alec is being awarded a professorship.
Well, congratulations, Alec.
Well, thank you, David.
Thank you, Leicester University, for this honour. The university have allowed me to sit at my workbench and just explore the unknown. As I speak, genetic fingerprinting is being used to catch the killer of 2 local girls, Dawn Ashworth and Linda Mann. To quote the motto of this university, ut vitam habeant, so that they might have life. Science is about exploration, but it's also about application. My hope is that genetic fingerprinting will not only help us understand who we are, but will also help catch the man who committed these terrible crimes, so that we all may have life. Thank you.
David?
Oh,
I really admire what you're doing, David. What you're trying to do. All the blood testing. The newspaper said it could change how the police catch criminals in the future. If something good could come out of all this, that would be of some help. I really mean that. We can't let this happen to anyone else.
No.
What time are you back, love?
Not late.
Is Danny walking you home?
Flippin' hope so. See you, Mum. Fucking saw you in there with your Danny. Yes, I did. Hiya. You going Enderby way by any chance?
Jumping.
Sure. You're not a rapist, are you? Right. Cheers. That was the turning just there. Can you let me out the car, please? No, honestly, I'll walk, it's fine. Could you just please just... What are you doing? Get off me! Stop the fucking car now! Get out! I'm getting out! You dirty bastard!
Come in.
That's it.
David, take a seat. As you know, I'm a big supporter of what you're trying to do.
Yes, sir.
Everyone thinks it shows enterprise and initiative, the whole idea of flushing out the killer. But there are concerns, David. About the cost of the screening, about whether this is getting us anywhere. Questions are being asked. You've not found this man after nearly 5,000 samples. How many more?
Every sample that's taken means that another man is eliminated from the inquiry.
But there's no end, is there? Unless you take blood from every man in the country.
You can't shut us down, sir. Not now.
It's not just about the money.
Well, what is it about, then? Where's this coming from?
There's courage in trying new ideas.
How far upstairs?
But there's even greater courage in acknowledging their failure.
Whoever signs a letter that tries to close this investigation is going to be held personally responsible for the next young girl brutally raped and murdered in these villages. Shall I put that in a memo, sir?
Mum? In here, Mum.
Oh, you're not going in? It's not like you. You out late last night?
Not late.
Oh, well, I suppose we're all like that when we were your age. Right. What's happened?
Nothing.
Right, I've got to go.
Mum. Thanks.
I'll see you later.
Cleared.
3,100.
Alec?
That man.
What man?
There by the car.
Oh, he was there this morning. Well, when I took the girl, he wasn't there when I came back. Why?
Call David Baker. Take the girls upstairs. Who are you? What do you want?
Dr. Jeffries. Dr. Jeffries. My son.
What?
I think he's mine. You're the scientist, yes? You can help me know the truth.
Oh. Oh, I see. It's fine.
Please, you must tell me.
Really sorry to have called you out.
All right, don't worry.
Everyone's still so on edge.
How did he find you?
God knows. We're ex-directory. Any news? How's the screening going?
Well, still nothing. We know the names of every man in that 5-mile radius. I make the team go over the list again and again, send out letters, phoning them up, knocking on doors. One lad was serving in the Navy down in the Falklands when Dawn Ashworth was killed. He didn't think he had to come in, but I still insisted that they ask him to volunteer. They knock on another door, a woman answers. Her son's a quadriplegic. Ask him to volunteer, no exceptions.
Something happened, David.
We've tested nearly every man in our 5-mile radius.
Maybe he just lives outside the circle.
Yes, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe we'll never know. This screening's costing a fortune, but without any results. I'm afraid they're going to shut us down.
They can't do that.
Well, apparently it takes courage to admit when you failed.
Look, I could never have anticipated that first DNA fingerprint. But look, I know it was an accident, but I also know it was a result of a lot of years of hard work. Look, you and I both know that we make our own luck.
We apply everything we've learned, we hold our nerve, and hopefully, like the DNA fingerprinting, we get a lucky break. I'll show you out.
Bye, Sue.
Bye.
Roger.
Bye, Sue. Incident room, dear Taylor. You what?
I was in the pub, just having a drink with some workmates.
What pub?
The Clarendon on West Avenue, and that's when he said it.
When did you overhear this conversation?
Beginning of August.
Beginning of August?
Yeah, sorry, I was going to call in sooner, but a relative of mine who's a policeman, I was going to tell him, but he was away, and then I was away. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Or...
No, you're not. You're not. It's absolutely fine. When did it... No, did you go?
Where do you work?
Hampshire's Bakery, over in Leicester.
What exactly did Ian say?
That he'd given blood for someone else.
It's on the corner. Small basket.
Mr. Wendy?
Yeah?
D.I. Madden, Enderby Police Station. Can we have a few words with you, please?
What's this about?
Down the station.
Did you give blood, Ian, during the mass screening?
I don't live in the area, so I never got a letter or anything.
Did you give blood, Ian?
I didn't think I had to. I would have done. You take it now.
We have it on good authority that you gave your blood in someone else's place. Did you do that, Ian?
Why would I?
You were over there talking about it. Bragging about it.
I never bragged about it.
So you did do it?
I may have done. As a favour, that's all.
Favour?
Yeah. He'd done it for a mate, stood in for him. So he asked me to do it for him as a mate, that's all.
And you never thought to ask why?
No, he'd done it because his mate had been done for flashing. He thought police had nicked him or something.
So?
He's my boss. At the bakery where I work. So I didn't have a choice. Not if I wanted to keep my job.
And how exactly did you go about it?
He sorted out his passport, cut out a photo with a blade and replaced it with mine.
And do you really think a man would go to such lengths if he wasn't guilty? In this case, guilty of murder.
No way. He told me he was doing it for a mate. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? I never thought he killed anybody.
Do you have any idea how much police time you've wasted?
I'm sorry. I really thought...
What's his name, Ian?
Right. According to this, he was charged with indecent exposure in 1978, 79. He even had treatment at the Carlton Hayes Hospital.
Next to the pavilion. Why didn't we have him 3 years ago?
Because he and his wife were living in Leicester. They moved to Littlethorpe a month after Linda's murder.
So was he questioned during the house-to-house then?
Yeah, but he had an alibi.
Yeah, on the night of the 21st November 83, he said he was babysitting his 10-week-old son.
He wouldn't leave his 10-week-old baby at home, would he?
Where was the wife? Oh, she was out, night class over in Narborough.
Right. We'll go to the house, you two go to the bakery. If he's not there, see what you can find.
Yes, sir.
Hope this isn't another bloody wild goose chase.
Better bloody not be.
D.S. Taylor, Leicestershire Police.
DC Cowley.
You got a Colin Pitchfork works here, mate.
You are?
Bingo.
Let's go.
Thanks.
Has he done a runner, do you think?
Wait, just wait. Wait. Colin Pitchfork.
Yeah?
Detective Chief Superintendent David Baker. This is Detective Inspector Alan Madden.
What's this all about?
Well, I'd like you to answer a few questions on the deaths of Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth.
He got a letter saying he was in the clear.
Well, do you want to come inside?
If you'd like to get in the car, please, Mr. Pitchfork.
Okay.
Colin? Colin, where are you going? Colin! Where are you taking? Can you get off me, please? I don't understand.
Alec, we've made an arrest. A suspect is in custody. David, that's great news.
Well, not yet.
We've been here before. I want the DNA proof.
The sample is on its way to Aldermaston.
And I'd really like you to be there. Can you go?
Right. Yes, of course. I'll see you there.
Yes. Right. Say nothing to anyone. Yes, Alan, come on. Group A, PG and 1 secretor.
Sample 1. Colin Pitchfork.
And sample 2. Right.
Why would he get someone else to give their blood if he didn't have something to hide?
Why would a 17-year-old lad admit to a crime he didn't commit? I've been here before.
Go and tell them, Peter.
No, it's all yours, Alec.
Any news?
Nothing yet, sir.
As soon as there is, I want to know.
Yes, sir.
This is the killer's code. And this is Colin Pitchfork's. Colin Pitchfork's genetic fingerprint matches exactly the genetic fingerprint of the man we know raped and murdered Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth. You sure? You got him. You finally got him. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Kath, David Baker. I made you a promise. Well, just wanted to say we've got him.
There he is.
jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. Yay!
I'd just like to say, well done, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for all your hard work. Cheers.
To a result!
Yay!
At last!
Congratulations, David.
Thank you, sir.
Thank God it's all over with.
Never be over with. Not for me. Never forgive that man for what he did to my Linda. What he's done to this family.
People keep telling me that Dawn was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But Dawn wasn't in the wrong place. It was a summer's afternoon and she was just going about her business. Just walking down. He was the one in the wrong place, not Dawn.
So why the gap of 3 years?
Well, he'd had an affair with a woman which seemed to keep him occupied, and when that stopped, he was back on the lookout. And he would have done it again.
You think so?
Well, by the way, you should know that the judge said, had it not been for DNA, that he would still be at large, and that other women would have been in danger. Oh.
Listen, I've been meaning to ask you. How far were you willing to go? How many blood samples?
Oh, we had another 27,000 in the system. Right. Right.
Well, maybe now we can get back to our normal life. Come on.
Normal life? Since when have we lived a normal life?